Everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Christine. I'm here to do my weekly wrap-up, which is going to be probably short, and a small book haul. Oh, I forgot to grab the books. Sorry, something in my eye. I only finished one book this week because I've been busy. It is what it is. As you can see, we kind of moved things around, so I now have my workstation right behind me instead of over there. And if you hear cats howling, yeah, it's been one of those mornings. So I was on my way to like this book. My sister-in-law wanted me to read it, and she said she couldn't put it down. She loved the book. Razzle. Yeah, so I was on my way to liking it, even though I hated the main character. And then a couple of things happened, and I'm like, no. I ended up giving it 2 stars. And yeah. So if this is one of your favorite books, sorry, but no, I can't condone this stuff. So it's The Horse Whisperer by Nicholas Evans. And I found it a little bit dry, but it was still good. The writing style, and it's about a girl who gets her and her friend to go on a horse ride on the first snow of the year, and they end up going too far and have to take a different trail, and the horses kind of slid into this roadway and this logging road. Oh, sorry. And of course, they think that nobody uses this road. They had made another road for the logging trucks to go into this mill, but this driver didn't know about it, ended up going way too fast down this road, and the horses kind of went into the road, and things happened. So her best friend and her horse died, unfortunately, in it, and the girls I think are only 13. Yeah, something like that. So she ends up getting hurt to the point where half of her leg has to be amputated. And then her horse jumps over the 18-wheeler and gets hurt, but survives it. No. So anyways, to progress the story, I will, unbelievable, but it is what it is. So the mother in this, Annie, she's more concerned about how much her daughter's leg is gone, rather than the fact that her daughter is lucky to be alive. She's a workaholic, but she cares more about her image and her work rather than her husband and her daughter. And her husband's a gem. He's awesome. So, she decides that because her daughter doesn't want to put her horse down, that this horse whisperer can fix her daughter's horse. And so she decides, well, her daughter needs to come too, and her daughter doesn't want to be anywhere near the horse. She just wants her horse not to be put down and given to somebody else, back to where she got it from. So the mother and the daughter go to Montana, and they're from New York. Well, her mother's from England, but they live in New York. And just stop in at this guy's house and say, I need your help. After he had already told her twice no. So yeah. Of course, things progress from there. I was okay with it being a romance and falling in love. But she's married. Yeah, and the ending is a complete cop-out to make the story all hunky-dory. And I couldn't. And even there's a passage in here where even he says, I've been with married ladies before and it doesn't bother me. Really? No. So I ended up giving it 2 stars, and my sister-in-law can have this back. No. I can't condone stuff like that at all. I could get past the mother being a bitch. I can get past, her dropping in on people's houses and saying, I need your help, regardless of what you think. but no, not cheating. And it's glorified in this story. It's you're made to want the relationship to happen, but in the back, you know, she's married and she says she's happily married. She loves her husband. If you loved your husband so much, you wouldn't even look at another man. So, enough of that. So I'm currently reading 2 books. Well, currently reading 3, but I haven't really picked the other one up, and that's that keto book. But I'm reading book 4 in the Chance Sisters romance by Anne Gracie, and it's The Summer Bride. This is funny. It's Daisy and Flynn's story. Flynn's an Irish pirate, and he's a very flamboyant Irish pirate. And she's a Cockney girl with a bum leg, and you kind of find out what's going on with her leg in the story. But she is all for having a business. She wants to be a seamstress to all the wealthy to-do ladies. He's trying to find a woman that he can have kids with. It's funny. My favorite parts, though, are one of their friends is named Lord Monkton Coombs, and it's hyphenated. So she calls him Lord Comanover, and he calls him hyphen. So it's written in such a way that you laugh every time you see it written, and it's hilarious. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. My son and I are currently reading The End, thank God, by Lemony Snicket, and it's book 13 in the series of unfortunate events. I'm liking this one much more. He doesn't go off on his tangents as much in this one, and the environment is totally different. So I'm not going to get into it. It's just I'm finally glad that the series is going to be over, because while the stories are good, his tangents about his own life are just annoying as hell, because they get longer and longer and longer, and you get taken right out of the story. So my son was kind of having a problem of, well, I was getting back into the story, and so this one seems to be a lot less of that and more of the actual story of the orphans. Sorry, I don't know why I'm all congested today. So what am I going to read? I watched Missy from Binge Readers video yesterday, and she was mentioning her Stephen King read along, and I knew she had it. But I've been wanting to reread this book for a long time. And she said she's taking October and November to read it. And I figured, well, maybe I should jump in on that. Because I remember reading this in high school. In fact, I remember the class I was reading it in. But I can't remember a thing about it. Not one thing. My husband has told me about it. Can't remember a thing. And it's The Tommyknockers by Stephen King. So I might be, I joined her group. And I'll probably join this and then just sort of tab it out over the 2 months. I doubt it'll take me that long to read. But the way my reading has been going lately, that's pretty much what I have to do. Just because I've been so busy. I have like 4 orders. One coming in, because the way we do our orders, or between me and one of my customers, she sends me a bunch of pictures, and then I make up an invoice every week. So there's that one. Actually, no, she's got 2 of them on the go. And I have 3 from Etsy. So I have 5 orders plus testing. And they're not small orders either. So we'll see when I can get this in. But with this being here now, I can work longer in the day, because where it was so dark that even on dreary days like today, and it's a really, really dreary day, I couldn't get any work done past 3 o'clock. So now I can work longer during the day, so I can, get things going. But that's a whole nother thing. What I'm trying to say is I might have more reading time during like the weekends and stuff. Anyways, so I'm going to be jumping on the Tommyknockers read along, and I'm trying to work my way through my library books because of the 2 projects I'm going to be doing starting in the new year. I might start them early depending. I have to go through things, but we'll see. So, I might get to one of these 4 books, or 2 of them if I'm lucky. But I had to get this one out of the library again because I didn't get to it the last 3 times I was able to renew it. So it's The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson. And book 2 is out or coming out very soon. So yeah, I want to read something that's, funny, like a grumpy old man. Although I've never seen those movies, but yeah, so I want to read this one. And of course, continue with my romance that I was going to read this for a Triple RC challenge a while ago and I never got to it. But it's Cutting Loose by Susan Anderson. I don't know if it's a series, I can't remember, or if it's just like a standalone. But there's that, and let's see. But the Princess of Propriety blows a gasket the night she meets the contractor restoring the Woolcott mansion. Oh, Jane thinks nothing can make her lose her cool. Devlin Kavanaugh's rugged sex appeal may buckle her knees, but the man is out of control. Jane had to deal with theatrics growing up. She won't tolerate them now in someone hired to work on the house she and her 2 best friends have just inherited. So, love to hate, maybe? And then, I don't even remember grabbing this one. I know it's a cozy mystery. But it's called A High-End Finish by Kate Carlisle, and I don't know if it's first in a new series, but it's covered up by Library Tag. In the seaside town of Lighthouse Cove in Northern California, everyone knows the best man for the job is actually a woman, the contractor Shannon Hammer. But while Shannon can do wonders with a power drill and a little elbow grease, she's about to discover that some problems aren't so easily fixed. And that's just a tagline. So, yeah. Cozy mystery. And then I've been wanting to get to this. I've seen the movie. And that twist at the end was just wow. So I figured I'd grab the book, and that's Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. All I know is it's about an investigator. Well, not that all I know. What I want to say is an investigator is investigating something on Shutter Island, but you have to stay overnight if you miss the ferries. It's been a while. So, yeah, I gotta get to that. So, my book haul is just my sister-in-law gave me a bunch of books. So, they are, and I don't know anything really about these. The Summer Cottage by Susan Keatsman. Helen Street spent every summer of her childhood at her family's cedar-shaked cottage on Long Island Sound. The youngest of 4, she shared her mother Claire's athletic genes and relished the orchestrated games and competitions that filled those warm, endless days. Unlike her older siblings, fiery Charlotte, ambitious Thomas, middle child Pammy, Helen rarely felt the pressure of her mother's high expectations. So I'm not sure if it's about love or family, but it seems to be like a woman's lit book, which is predominantly what my sister-in-law reads. So, yeah. These other 4, I don't know if I have another one of that. She gave me all of her Jude Deveraux books, so this is another one, High Tide. It's romance. And then these 2 are by Susan Wiggs. I don't know if they're a series or what. But one is The Firebrand. Oh, yeah. The Chicago Fire Trilogy. And it's historical romance. So there's that one. And Home Before Dark. And I don't know if this is a series or not. But there's that one. And then the last one she gave me is Tess Gerritsen, Life Support. I don't know if I have this one or not. But I've not read any Tess Gerritsen. I don't know if I've read Susan Wiggs yet or not. I have a lot of her books, but I just haven't gotten to them yet. So, that is my weekly wrap-up. It's almost 15 minutes, and I only read 1 book, so there you go. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you're reading. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.